ጤና ይስጥልኝ ተመልካቾቻችን፣ ይህ በዳያስፖራ ቲቪ የተዘጋጀ የሚቀርብላችሁ የጌራ-ሾው ነው። እሺ ተመልካቾቻችን እንግዲህ እንከተለዋል እንግዳይ ደግሞ አሁን እንደዚህ አስተዋውቃችኋለሁ። ጨዋታችን የሚሆነው በእንግሊዘኛ ነው። እዚህ ሀገር ተወልዳ ብታርግም ትንሽ አማርኛ በሚጣፍጥ አማርኛ ልታቅ ትችላለች። ጠይቃታለሁ። ግን አብዛኛው ጨዋታችን የሚሆነው በእንግሊዘኛ ነው። ስለ ስሟ ሜሮኔ ተክሉ ትባላለች። ያለውን አንዳንድ ኢንትሮዳክሽን ስለሷ አሰማችሁ አነብላችሁና ወደ መድረኩ ጋብዛታለሁ ማለት ነው። Ladies and gentlemen, our next special guest who's here with us today is the young Ethiopian American Meronne Teklu, who's an advisory board member, director of public relations and youth club at Wegene Ethiopian Foundation. Meronne is born and raised in America. After finishing high school, she went to College of Williams and Mary and studied computer science and African studies. When she was in college, Meronne had been involved in different social activities and initiatives like in working in student assembly, undergraduate admission, and in different diversity initiatives. While in college, Meronne and her friends have created a web series called The Real Williams and Mary with an aim to engage campus students in dialogue on diversity and inclusion and give campus students a platform to voice their concerns, experiences, and insights in this regard. Meronne is passionate about changing the lives of people in poverty, and since she was 5 years old, she has been engaged in the work of Wegene Ethiopian Foundation. Wegene Ethiopian Foundation is a non-government organization established to build families in Ethiopia struck by poverty cycle through addressing their educational, housing needs, and family issues. In general, Meronne is a young Ethiopian American professional whose passion to help people in need and engagement in different social issues and made her to be a great influence and model for many youth. And today she is here with us to share her passion, life experience, and her works she does. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's give Meronne Teklu a warm welcome to the stage. Welcome. Okay, Meronne, welcome to the Gera-show. It's a great honor to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so you are someone who's involved in so many social activities in college. And how did you manage all that things? Did it affect your studies or anything?
You know, I never really managed it.
No.
It's kind of a fake it until you make it situation. I wish I did. I wish I did better. I think it's really hard balancing school, work, if you have to work throughout school, different activities, socializing, and sleep. You can't do all of it. And so for me, what usually happened was sleep usually took the back burner. I didn't really sleep a lot. I wish I could have told myself back then I need to prioritize, right? Like do what's most important to me. And at that time, I should have been focusing more on school, sleep, taking care of myself before I was doing a bunch of other activities. But I think it was definitely worth it, I think. And at the end of my college, I realized some of those things was able to apply. Yeah.
So somehow, anyway, you balanced it.
Somehow, some way.
Let's say most parents, they have a fear about their children. When they engage in so many social activities, you know, they might less concentrate on their studies. And tell me about that, you know, how would your parents' role in that, you know, helping you to find your interest and passion, you know, nurturing it, you know?
I think my parents, my family definitely had a huge role. A lot of times they didn't always know what I was involved in. They don't keep in contact with social media, so they would just hear about it through their friends or through family members that I was doing all these things, and then I get a call from my mom being like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing all of this stuff? Why did you sign up for another club?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I just really want to do it. But I think they definitely instilled in me a passion of pursuing things that I was interested in. And so I think they do that by example a lot of the time. So my dad is very business minded. He's very savvy with with people and talking to people. And so he instilled in me that sense of being about getting to know people and being more business minded. And then my mom, started the Wegene Ethiopian Foundation.
That's right.
Has a very strong sense of giving back to the community and is also very artistic, and not a lot of people know that about her. She has very much a talent for design and art, and so really gave me a drive to pursue both STEM but also more of artwork and designing things. Yeah.
By the way, Meronne's parents, Mr. Teklu and Miss Nini is here. Let's give them a warm welcome to support her. To what extent helped you all this engagement in social activities in college? I mean, outside college, to what extent helped you in college to find yourself or to be where you are right now and who you are?
Yeah, I think it helped me. I think it helped me a lot because there's a lot of things and a lot of skills that you just don't learn in the classroom, and you're paying so much money, unfortunately, to have a degree, which is very important in getting the job that you want.
That's right.
Very important in making good money, providing for yourself. But there's a lot of skills that you just don't learn. A lot of things regarding leadership, a lot of life skills, a lot of business skills, and also just in general how to talk to people. You don't really learn a lot of human interaction skills in the classroom. So I think through my extracurricular activities, I was able to learn more about how to read people, be more empathetic, try to understand where people are coming from, being able to put myself in their shoes, but then also leading into how to lead an organization, what it takes to succeed, things like that are more soft skills, more like intangible,
That's
that
right.
you just don't learn from a textbook or learn from reading, that you're able to learn in activities.
What year did you visit first Ethiopia? I know you've been there so many times, probably.
What year?
Yeah.
What year? What year was it? 2006? 2006, yeah. I think I was 11 or 12 at the first time I went to Ethiopia, yeah.
What was your first impression?
My first impression?
Like, seeing this, what I want. Okay, go ahead. And I would like
My first impression, very different. It's a very big culture shock. I grew up in the States, so this is all I know. Never really leave the DC, Virginia, Maryland area. So it was a lot. It was very new. And at that time, I had actually visited a couple of our Wegene families that we sponsor. So it was really interesting to see where they live, which was tents, mud homes, and it was a shock. It was things that you hear about, things that you read about. You might see a cool movie where they talk about the impoverished children of Africa, but you don't see it firsthand a lot of the times. And so when I went, I was thinking, I have such a good background. I do charity work. Like, I know these families. Like, I know through pictures. I've seen them. I know their situations. I have a good understanding. But it's so much different when you're actually there, and you see it firsthand, and you see how they're living, and the resilience that they have. That is just like a shock.
All those needy families.
All those needy families on the street, and then also in their homes and how they're living. It kind of just humbles you. You're kind of just like, okay, like my problems don't mean anything. like not that they don't mean anything, but you have more of appreciation of where you come from, and also just learning from them. I think I was just really shocked that I was shocked in myself that when I visited these homes, what I wasn't surprised was by their living situation. I was talking to some of the children, and they have like flies just all over their face. They're running around with no shoes, and I'm thinking that I'm just so uncomfortable. I was putting so much focus on myself that I was in a situation where I felt not welcomed. I felt like I didn't know anything. I felt ignorant, and that to me was more shocking than the situation. I was just disappointed in myself that I wasn't able to really connect with them more because I was so focused on the situation.
To what extent impacted your realization in life about poverty?
Yeah, definitely. I think I learned a lot about just myself and what I can contribute to help end this cycle of poverty, what needs to be done and how these people are living, because how can you design programs, how can you do all this fundraising and such and not know where your aid is going. I think is really important. And a lot of times we send money and we send them computers and we send them all these fancy gadgets, when in reality they just need somebody to be there for them to help support them through whatever they're going through. They need socks. They need a ride to school, like
shoes to wear
to the school. And a lot of times if you're not there, if you don't visit, you don't know. Right. And you just assume based on your background that they need a laptop or they need a cell phone. Yeah.
So how many times have you been in Ethiopia?
So I went twice. I just came back 2 months ago.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was there this past summer.
Okay.
Which was really cool. Again, I was able to see our actual tutoring center that we've built in Addis, the Wegene Knowledge Center, where we do tutoring for a lot of our sponsored kids. And it was a very different experience interacting with them in a place where, it's tutoring, getting to actually talk to them, being older now and like realizing, that my biases and how I can help.
Right.
So it was really cool to hear their stories, and they're such resilient kids that I was able to learn a lot from them.
Okay. Let me bring you now to the Wegene Youth Club.
Yeah.
And that was founded under the umbrella of Wegene Ethiopian Foundation. What was the aim of founding that Wegene Youth Club when they founded first?
Yeah, I think the aim of the Wegene Youth Club was really just that we want to engage youth at an early age to instill a sense of giving back. And of charity work and the importance of that. And it's just a way for them to mobilize. So through the Wegene Youth Club, we do a variety of things. We do a lot of fundraisers where we raise money for Wegene. We do a lot of volunteering in our local DC, Virginia, Maryland community.
Right.
And then we also have a lot of social events just to build community and get everybody to know each other. So we do a variety of things here.
Do you think the Wegene Youth Club contributed a lot to the Wegene Ethiopian Foundation?
I definitely think so. Is it measurable? I think so. I don't know how we measure. I don't know. We can take a survey.
Right. Okay.
I definitely think so. I think maybe it's not completely measurable right now, but I think in a few years, we're investing early in these kids, right? So our hope would be that they would be the future leaders of Wegene, and more broadly, the future leaders of the Ethiopian diaspora community. So I think maybe you can't measure it currently, but let's come back in 10 years and let's see how they've progressed. But I think we bring a lot of awareness. We're very active in the community. I think a lot of people know us on different social media platforms, and a lot of people just know our faces just because we have a lot of events. We have an event once a month. Yeah, so we contribute a lot to the visibility of Wegene, and then also financially we do raise a lot of money that we send back to Greater Wegene.
Okay. What requirements they need, for example, the Ethiopian youth diasporas to join Wegene Youth Club?
Yeah, the requirements.
What methods are you guys doing to encourage them?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any specific requirements. It's not exclusive.
Age, for example?
Age, yeah. So most of our members, all of our members are under 18.
Okay.
And we start as early as 6 or 7 years old. So we have general members who just attend events once a month. Those fundraising, volunteering, or social events. And then if you want to take a greater leadership role, we have executive board member positions. And so you have to be 13 or older for those positions, and they include president, vice president, secretary, all the regular positions, where they take more of a leadership role, and they do planning for all of our events, and then they also do have board meetings once a month in addition to the events. And then we have a third layer of the youth club advisors, which I help with, me and Beza, where we try to guide the board in the right direction, help reserve, help with the finances and things that younger kids can't really do. We'll fill it in. So for Wegene Advisor, we're all over 18, usually young professionals that are in the area, just trying to help guide them in the right direction.
You are literally were born with the Wegene and
literally raised through Wegene, and so hopefully that
So this youth club, tell me now, particularly, what do they do to this needy families back community besides tutoring or any other things, you know? And you guys are working on open up another opportunities for these families who's, let's say, for example, you know, we had a story last time that somebody was graduated from college, you know, and start working, and there any way that you can arrange something for them to come for higher education or something, you know, scholarship purpose and something like that?
So through the Wegene Youth Club, we do have, so some of us go back and tutor for a summer, and I think that's what you were mentioning on us going and tutoring. But we're always open to looking into other opportunities to help sponsor our Wegene families. We do provide scholarships, but most of our sponsored students go to school in different universities in Ethiopia. So that would be just recruiting more funding to send kids outside of Ethiopia. But I think we're definitely open to other ways that we can help contribute outside of just money and outside of awareness, what we can do.
Are you getting more members here in the United States of America or abroad to join the Wegene Youth Club?
Yeah. So we've actually increased, we have a steady increase every year, I think, of our membership. And so our members are mostly in this area, in the DC area, but we've been starting to get some people that will come down for like major events that live in different parts of the East Coast. If there's something big going on, they'll come down, but usually since we're based here, we have a lot of members that are here.
Since you guys are very close to social media and all kind of networking things, you know, how about reaching out to Europe and some other continents?
Yeah, I think that would definitely be really cool. I think what we could, a possible thing to explore would be developing some sort of platform, online platform, where different young, like Ethiopian youths can collaborate. And I feel like that's already kind of happening in social media. You know, you have Buna Time, you have like all of these new platforms where young, you know, diaspora people are connecting. So I think as Wegene Youth Club, we should explore more opportunities.
Let me take you back to your college life now. You studied African study. Why? Because you grow up with Wegene?
Why?
Or because you're African American? Or
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I kind of just took the classes because I thought I needed a break from like hard computer science classes. I was like, what else can I take? And then I ended up taking some of those just because I thought they were interesting. I was misinterpreted, so I did Africana studies, which is essentially the study of African people around the world. So I didn't really focus more specifically on African culture and history, but greater themes around race, class, gender, how our understanding impacts, you know, the way that we live. So it was more broad. So I don't think it helped me in understanding really like African culture, but gave a broader definition on how I could think about things. And nothing, you don't learn always like from the classroom. So I think traveling in Africa really helped more.
Helped more a lot.
Yeah, helped me learn more.
So what do you have in future in mind? What do you want to do more like?
More?
Africa.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would like to travel more, but you know, work. So I don't know.
Are you interested to run someday to the public office?
For the public office? Wow. Big question. I don't know if I can say that on camera.
Why not?
I'd have to think about it.
You have to think about it.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it.
Meronne, we're about to wrap our program, and I want to give you a chance to say something to young Ethiopian diaspora who lives here and abroad. And if you have any message for them, do it. I think the only message I would have would, especially going through college, just being a recent graduate myself, would just be to find your community wherever you are, whether that's in school, in your neighborhood, or through the diaspora, just finding your community and embracing that community, because I think we tend to have a mentality that it's a competition with the best person winning, and life shouldn't be a competition. So just embrace your community, embrace yourself. If there's something you really don't want to do, don't do it. And then just finding your passion and embracing it. Are you planning to take over Wegene from your mom?
Take over. I get this question a lot.
Well,
I think it's assumed.
So I think it's the right time to address it.
I don't know. I think only time can tell. So I just do what I can to support in the background. But until then, I don't know.
Meronne Teklu, it's a great honor to have you on the Gera-show.
Thank you so much.
I hope to see you again sometime in the future.
Definitely.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.